Welcome to Life Happens, where Texans come to protect their legacy and prepare for the second half of life. Join your host, attorney Kim Hegwood of Your Legacy Legal Care, and our weekly guest as we navigate the challenges that emerge as life happens. Now here's your host, Kim Hegwood.
Good morning and welcome to Life Happens with me, Kim Hegwood, and our very special guest today is Priyanka Johri. Good morning.
Good morning, Kim. How are you doing?
And I'm doing well. And so today we're going to talk about choosing senior care in Texas, from group homes to hospice, what families need to know, because there's a lot of options out there.
Definitely.
And I think a lot of people don't realize the options. They don't realize how many there are, and they don't know a lot about the differences. So let's
Right.
start with that.
Sure.
So there's key differences between licensed, unlicensed senior care homes in Texas, and why does it matter? Why does somebody want a license or unlicensed? Why does it matter to have the licensing?
Definitely. So as we age, our life situation changes, our capabilities changes. So a lot of time people are moving into independent living where they just need a little bit of help. And then there is assisted living where you need a little bit more assistance. And that's where the big difference comes in. There are licensed facilities which are licensed by state of Texas. That means they have rules and regulations that all these facilities have to follow. But when we say facilities, people always think of these big places where you have 40, 60, 80 people. But there are other licensed, what we call small assisted living licensed facilities, and they're not actually facilities. They feel more like a home. So it doesn't feel like a nursing home. It doesn't feel like a hospital. It doesn't feel like a five-star hotel or cruise ship. It is something in between, which is where you get more one-on-one care because number of people are smaller. These homes, assisted living homes, are usually maybe like 6 to 8 to up to 16 people. So anything over 16 is called large assisted living. Anything under 16 beds is called small assisted living. And even in those small assisted living, they are different. So they are homes that have been converted. So they are ADA compliant, they have sprinkler systems, they have fire alarm, but they're typical, your regular home that has been converted into assisted living, and it will have less number of people. Then you will have built to suit assisted livings that are like 16 beds. Somebody has gone in and built something. So it's kind of larger facility, but just for 16 people. Again, you're going to get a little bit more care. So difference between like larger facility is people need to be a little bit more active. If they need very one-on-one care, that's not the good place for them because they can't provide that. Their caregiver to resident ratio is larger, right? So one caregiver may be taking care of 20 to 25 people. When you go to 16 bed, one caregiver may be taking care of maybe 10 to 12 people. If you go even smaller, one caregiver may be taking care of just 4 or 5 people. So it's as the care need increases, the type of facility or home that you would need changes. Now, licensed versus unlicensed. Texas allows unlicensed facilities or unlicensed homes for up to 3 people. But these homes are not regulated. So nobody's coming and checking. So when you're licensed, state comes and checks on you. So it will be surprise checks. They're going to show up. Inspector's going to show up. They're going to check on the, how you are running the place. Are the people taken care of? Do you have enough food? Do you have emergency things that you need in case something happens? What are your rules and regulations? And are you following them? If you're unlicensed, there's no oversight. Recently, Harris County and Montgomery County have started cracking down on these unlicensed homes. I don't know if you have seen the news. Several of them have been shut down. So there are really nice unlicensed homes that have been there for years. And then there are ones that people are just jumping into, thinking it's easy. They're taking in people that they are unable to provide care for, and these people are not getting the care they need and deserve. So in last year and a half, Harris County and Montgomery County have just cracked down on these unlicensed homes. And they are still like, if you're running a home, like say you're a retired nurse and you have the experience to take care of a person and you're doing it in your home with 2 or 3 people, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you get much better care, right? But if you have what people are calling group home. You're not supposed to provide one-on-one care. You provide board, which is a room, and it's called boarding care, but basically you provide food and you provide a room, and you can't provide anything else. So that's where the gap is. People move into these homes thinking they will get the assistance. Uh, if these people are providing the assistance, they are not qualified or experienced, or half the time they are not providing the care that person needs or assistance that person needs. So that's the difference between licensed and unlicensed. As a licensed facility or home, your ombudsman is going to come regularly and check on the residents, talk to the residents, make sure they're taken care of. State inspectors, it will be surprise check. If anybody reports it, they're going to show up. So there's a lot of oversight in licensed, and unlicensed is just like, hey, we are doing it at home, we are taking care of it.
So what about group homes and personal care homes? Because, I know a lot of people that own personal care homes,
I own. So personal care home is that small assisted living that I was talking about. So it comes in the umbrella of 16 beds or less. So personal care homes are licensed, and they are licensed with the state of Texas, but they are regular homes that have been converted. So you have to be ADA compliant. There should be ramps, doors should be larger, wheelchairs should be able to go in and out. There shouldn't be any tripping hazards in the home. You have to have sprinkler and fire alarm. So these are personal care homes. And a lot of time people confuse personal care homes, which are licensed, with unlicensed group homes. Group home is where a number of unrelated people live together. And these group homes are the ones that are being cracked down upon, that both counties, Montgomery and Harris County, is finding a lot of group homes are breaking a lot of rules and regulations and not providing care and putting people's life in danger.
That's never good. And so
It's never. And we are glad that they are doing it, because anybody who is in senior industry and they are in it for the heart because they really want to take care of seniors, they will never do things that will hurt seniors. But we are seeing a lot of investors coming in who think, oh, there's a term going around, silver tsunami. And they're hearing it, which says like, oh, you can make money in senior market. And they're jumping in without realizing how much care these seniors need. And some of them may not be unintentional, right? Somebody told them like, hey, you can open a home or group home for the seniors. They will come over here, without realizing how much care seniors need. And a lot of seniors are cognitively declined, right? So they can't explain and ask for help. And if those people are not getting the care, especially their medical care that they need, that is not good.
So you talked about, the differences between small and, large assisted living facilities. How do families make the best choice when it comes to, deciding, do I need a smaller facility or a larger facility for my loved one?
So when people come to me, if a family calls me or comes to me and it's like, hey, my parents cannot stay home alone. And I ask them like, what's going on? If there's like, hey, they're forgetting to take their medication, they're forgetting to, make food, or they're just having some tripping and falling, but otherwise they're very active, they're cognitively there. Large facilities are great because there are bingo going on, there is movie going on, you go to the restaurant, you talk to so many different people, lot of activity. So if you have a active adult senior, right, they can, with a walker or even with wheelchair, they can go and socialize. That's the big facilities are great for that. But if your parent is falling again and again, they need to be taken to the dining home. They need to be helped with the showers. They need to be helped with a lot of different things throughout their daily living that we call a lot of assistance. You go to the smaller assisted living. It again comes down to caregiver to resident ratio. So less residents, a number of residents that caregiver is taking care of, more one-on-one care they can provide. So it's like a journey, right? So I say like, first, if your parents are active, take them to a large facility. Let them enjoy life. When they start declining and they can't provide the care, then you go to the smaller facility. So they come to us, like we have a small facility, and a lot of my people are coming from larger facilities. They enjoy their life, right? So I don't want anybody who is really active to come to us because they don't need that one-on-one care, but they want to have choices. In our small homes, we will be doing one activity. Like, let's everybody go to gardening. Let's watch a movie. Let's do this. There are not many choices for those activities. But in a large facility, you can have 3 activities going on at the same time that the person can choose. But then there's a care level that is not there. So it's like give and take, right? More activity, less care level, more one-on-one care, but less activity level or number of choices for activity kind of thing. So hope that makes sense.
It does. So let's kind of switch gears just a tiny bit. Let's talk about memory care.
Mhm.
So because a lot of clients, a lot of families, dementia is on the rise, and so, so which kind of specialized training and licensing should families look for when their parents have been diagnosed, that they have memory issues and that memory care is the best place for them?
So again, when we talked about large and small facilities, so we have large assisted living facilities and large memory care places also. And then we have smaller places that can handle memory care, again, more one-on-one care part. You're looking for somebody who has dementia certification, so they know how to deal with dementia. Dementia is not something that we are all familiar with, but we don't have experience with, right? So just because you can give somebody a shower doesn't mean you can also handle when they are having a sundowning. So that's a specialized training in dementia that people have to take and then have the experience dealing with it, because when somebody is sundowning or when somebody is dementia, reasoning is not something that they can handle or their brain can handle. So you have to go into their world. So instead of correcting, a lot of time people are trying to help person with dementia, they think it's just a memory issue and they're trying to correct them, right? So like, no, today is not Sunday. No, this is not what it is. Their brain cannot understand that. That reasoning is gone. So he's like, yeah, today is Sunday. So you want to have a popcorn and a movie? Let's do that. And that's the difference between the caregiver who has a dementia training and who understands how to communicate and how to calm down fear. Dementia people have a lot of fear that they can't express. A lot of time they want to go home because everything is unfamiliar to them, right? A lot of time they're trying to say something, but it's coming out differently. We had a dementia patient who was trying to say like, glass, take the glass away. And we were like, what is she talking about? And then it clicked. She wants the window to be closed. But somebody who doesn't have that dementia training would have been looking for like, there's no room in the car. There's no glass in the room. What are you talking about? And that's where the difference is.
So how does hospice integrate with other senior care settings? Because a lot of people, they like they know the doctor may tell them, hey, you need to call hospice.
Right.
So, but a lot of people don't necessarily want their loved ones to pass away at home either.
Right. So every human being deserves to pass surrounded with love and comfort. Right. That's my goal. And I think most people in senior industry feel the same way. A lot of time when people decline, so they needed assistance, then they have cognitive decline, now they're bedbound, and now the time has come where their body is no longer functioning at the optimum, and we know we can't do anything anymore. And that's where hospice care comes in. Hospice care is when we know somebody is terminally ill, we can't fix them, and we want to get them comfortable. And that can happen in your home setting. But if they are going towards hey, now the death is imminent, a lot of families feel uncomfortable. They may have kids at home, they may have other family members, or they just feel like, hey, they can't handle this. And somebody passing in the hospital is never, it's cold environment. So that's where places like ours come in, or small assisted living. Hospice company will call us or family will call us like, hey, my parent is passing or has been put on hospice and need much, much higher level of care. Can you help? And then they can come. So hospice company works with the assisted living or memory care or wherever the person is and with the family. And hospice provide care for the resident or the person, but they also provide support for the family members. So they have chaplain who will come in, the case managers who will okay, we need to do this, we can get you help from here or there. This lot that goes in a hospice is something wonderful that not many people know about, but all it offers. A lot of people take hospice as we are talking about death, but hospice is more than that. It's about getting person comfortable and on their journey towards the end, making it more loved and caring.
Yeah, I had my first experience with hospice 21 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And I knew nothing about it.
Mhm.
I mean, I wasn't, knew nothing. Uh, my grandfather, my great grandfather, I think passed away at home, and my great grandmother ended up like in the nursing home, like just barely 6 months, and then she passed.
Right,
So, so hospice wasn't an issue until my grandmother, needed it. And
right,
so I learned a lot, because I think me personally, I was under a lot of misconceptions about what they did, how they did it, how often they, came and things like that.
right,
So we try to make sure that we educate our clients coming in, that it's a little different than what you might be expecting, and be sure to ask all the questions, that you want the, people to have. And so,
right. Yeah, I
and
have had people or families say like not hospice because they will kill them. And that's a misconception. It's like, no, they're going to come and make them comfortable. They provide bath aides who come and give them showers or baths, depending upon their capability, once or twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. There's a nurse who comes at least once a week to check on them. Towards that, and they may be coming every day, but you have somebody to call. If something is happening in the middle of the night, you can call, say, hey, my dad is or my mom is in pain. What do I do? And they can guide you through, or somebody will show up to help you. There's a lot of help in hospital.
yeah, they were great. They were
There.
great. And
Mhm.
so let's get down to the stuff that people don't like to talk about. And
Yeah.
so how do you pay for senior care? Because I find that a lot of, clients coming in, they come into plan, but then you have to stop and say, if you start to decline, what money do you want to use first?
Right.
So how can families, really, what are the main ways that you pay for senior care? Because we know there's private pay, there's, some people still have really good long-term care insurance policies. There's Medicaid waivers, so how does a family determine, the best way, besides coming to see us, and that really gets some good information?
Right. So definitely, I say instead of calling us in crisis, plan beforehand, right? So come to you, plan, plan, plan. What I have experienced in my line is people have planned for their retirement, right? So after they retire, what they're going to do, they have planned for their funeral, and they forgot that middle part where they are going to be not active, need assistance before passing. And that's where the gap is. Most of people don't know about it. And when crises happen and we are getting calls, they don't know how to pay for it because they never planned for it. So having somebody like you is like a great asset for them. Anybody who talks to you before they get to that position is like really lucky. But if you don't have that, so hopefully your loved one have long-term care insurance, because it was very popular, a few decades ago, and few people have planned for it and paid for it, and it comes in great because Medicare does not pay for assisted living, room and board. They just pay for medical. Otherwise, you have to be below certain threshold income-wise, and Medicaid comes in, and you can only go to the Medicaid facilities that pays for it, right? But the rest of them have to private pay, which means you're using your retirement funds, you're using your pensions, but you're using your social security, but sometimes all of it may not be enough. So a lot of our clients are like, hey, all my equity or my money is sitting in my home. And home has deferred maintenance because senior has been declining. They haven't been maintaining their home. Home is filled with memories and stuff. So they don't know where to start and they're just stuck. And family stuck is like, well, they can pay if we sell the home, but we can't sell the home because home is in a bad shape and they can't move somewhere because they don't have the money. Part of it. We have few programs where we just like, hey, we can fix their home. We can sell it for a higher price because most of the seniors sell their home as is because they get overwhelmed. And investor is the one who fixes the home and makes the money. But senior care is so expensive that what you got may not be enough and may not last the whole time. So we have like, no. Instead of somebody else making money out of your equity, let's help you make that money. So let's sell your home, but instead of selling as is, we'll fix it. You have extra money, and then you don't have to worry about, how you're going to pay for it. Hopefully it's last, and most of the time it would last before you pass. But sometimes people are just like, yeah, but by the time you sell and get us the money, my father or mom or parent is falling again and again, and they are danger at home. What do we now? So we have a program where it's like move in now, pay later, where they can come to Acorn Manor, which is our small assisted living, and we fix their home and sell it, and then everything gets paid when the house closes, or they can go to the facility and we can give them the loan against the equity of their home that is sitting there while we fix their home to sell it. So a lot of time it's coming from their retirement funds, their home, their pension plan, their social security, and sometimes none of those are options, and family, like their parents. So their parents are getting social security, they have small pension, and there's a difference between what needs to be paid. And then family has to step in. And I tell families, you need to plan for yourself also. You're taking care of your parents, but you don't want this to happen to your kids. So let's plan now. Go see Kim, get your long-term care insurance, plan. Because we are living longer and it's not going to change.
And so, yes, and that's what I tell clients all the time. We're living longer, but we're not necessarily living better. So,
No.
Priyanka, how does someone get a hold of you if they want to check out your facility or get some more good information?
Sure. So they can go to our website, aconmanor-assistedliving.com, or they can call my cell phone, 832-277-3577, or they can call my office, 832-955-9655.
Perfect. Thanks so much for being on the show today. You're always a great guest, and we look forward to having you on again soon.
Thank you for having me. And you are a great planner. So we love sending our clients to you.
Thanks, hon. You take care.
You too. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Life Happens with Kim Hegwood. Be sure to tune in every Thursday at 10 a.m. wherever you listen to your podcast as we navigate through the challenges that emerge as life happens. The content of this podcast does not establish an attorney-client relationship or constitute attorney-client privilege, legal, medical, financial, or any other professional advice.